Good morning to all of you. Shri Arun Baroka ji, Secretary, Department of Chemicals and Petrochemicals, Ms. Jacqueline Arvalas from the UNEP. Mr. Nitin Desai is joining us virtually today from TERI. And of course, our own Ashwin Bhai, Ravi Kapoor and Vikram, and all of you delegates who are joining us today. Welcome to all of you. It's great to be here in person after a gap of nearly 3 years. I think the discussions, the presentations, everything becomes a lot more meaningful and a lot more impactful once you're together in person. It's also a sign that things are getting back to normal after a couple of years of COVID. So I'd like to start with a little cartoon, which I Kunal, are we able to present it? Yeah. I don't know if you can read that cartoon. It's one of the most apt ones I've read recently. It says that, in case you can't read it, it's a man and a group of younger people sitting around a fire. It says, yes, the planet got destroyed, but for a beautiful moment in time, we created a lot of value for shareholders. So that person could be any of us today. We are under these pressures. We have to deliver shareholder return. We have to deliver market cap. The investors want to see profits. At the same time, we are, as was said at, the G7 summit in Germany recently, that we are heading towards climate hell with our foot firmly on the accelerator. So, chemicals and plastics, they actually save a lot of lives. But if they are not handled properly, or if they're not disposed of properly, they can take lives. And by taking lives, I don't mean the direct connection of explosions or accidents which do happen. I'm referring to the impact on the environment, the impact on climate change, temperatures rising globally. That impact would be much worse than anything else we have seen. And as today with us, we have got policymakers from the government. We've got UN representatives. We have think tanks, and of course, we have the industry itself. So I would take a step back and say that we need to take a much broader perspective. We need to look beyond just the results and things like that. And we need to build in a lot of sticks as well as carrots. You have to reward the good actors. You have to punish the bad actors. There has to be some way. For example, look at our, measurement of progress. The universally accepted measurement is gross domestic product, GDP. Every day we read about GDP growth and things like that. But there is nothing in there which factors something about resource conservation. So why can't there be a delta for countries or for companies which have a lower either carbon footprint, water footprint, energy conservation, lower emissions, or for countries which are doing the same? Why can't there be, unless that happens, we are going to go back to this same cartoon. Even when we talk about, it's not only up to the government, it's up to us individually. When we have our procurement teams going out, and I'm sure I will share an experience which we've had recently, which I'm sure you all can relate to, where we are discussing long-term contracts with some of our customers, big multinational companies. And, we always talk about our environmental work, the things we have done to reduce our footprint. Ultimately, the person on the purchasing side said, yes, but I have a more competitive offer from an East Asian country. So why can't we go beyond this and say that there have to be two bids? there's got to be a technical bid, which includes parameters related to environment, not just the specifications of the product, and another commercial bid, which should only be opened once the technical bid is matched. So then you're comparing like for like. So there is, in an ideal world, we would all keep doing things for the environment, which we will. But ultimately, if we are pushed out of business because other people are not, then it becomes a challenge. Now, today's conclave and the whole theme of sustainability, and which is in front of us today, is about technology. It's about examples. It's about the best practices in terms of environment, in terms of carbon, in terms of plastic waste reduction. All that to help us achieve the ultimate objective of growth without environmental impact. This is what we are ultimately here for today. We want to grow, we need to grow. How do we achieve that without significant environmental impact? For the first time, right now the COP27 discussions are going on, and it's the first time that global leaders have started talking about payment for protecting the environment. I think Indonesia has been offered something to the effect of $20 billion to protect its remaining rainforest. This is the first time. And it's also an acknowledgement that the West has grown after destroying the forests, after creating farmland, after creating a lot of the carbon emissions and the cause of the climate change. Now the need and the realization has come that we need to stop doing more, but we can't tell the third world countries or the developing countries that you can't do this without adequate compensation. We have 1.4 billion people. We need to look at how to, feed them, how to clothe them, how to house them, and that will come at an environmental cost. We have done a reasonably good job in protecting our wildlife, in protecting our forests. Of course, more can be done. But it's a balance between that and the people. And this is where, the policy changes, this is where things need to happen at government level to ensure that there is equitable distribution in this regard. This next couple of days, today and tomorrow, we are going to talk about many possibilities, technological improvements, things like that. The northern region of the ICC has done a great job putting all this together. And of course, I can't tell you how much Ravi Kapoor has put in, right from the time, even before he was president in the Responsible Care program and carried on through this sustainability conclave. He's the godfather of this conclave. And, I'd like to appreciate all his efforts and I'd like to call upon him now to give his view on the sustainability conclave. Thank you very much.